Investment advisory services are offered through Fusion Capital Management, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The firm only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. SEC registration is not an endorsement of the firm by the Commission and does not mean that the advisor has attained a specific level of skill or ability.
Welcome to Navigating Retirement with Rick Durkee.
And welcome into the program. This is Navigating Retirement, your resource, ladies and gentlemen, for a common sense approach to planning for your financial and investment future. Is the president and founder of Coastal Financial Planning Group, Rick Durkee, once again with us. Rick, welcome back.
Hey, good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening to us on our podcast. I welcome you back. Thank you for joining us on Navigating Retirement. Peter, thank you for joining me. And as we've done over the years, and we've grown now this podcast from the old terrestrial radio show that we used to do, and what I've done even years way before that, for about now the last 15 years ago, we started Money Matters, a radio program, but we've evolved to Navigating Retirement. It's been a big plus to have you working with us and helping us to grow this show. And we are always thankful to our listeners that have helped us grow our practice here in the Charleston area. But heck, we're almost worldwide now on digital. We're at least in the United States, and certainly we're coastal for the Coastal Financial Planning Group.
The resource for Charleston and the Low Country. And ladies and gentlemen, if you've got questions or concerns, always welcoming your calls. They will help provide guidance and perspective on any kind of financial or retirement planning issue or matter that's on your mind. 800-491-6220 is the number to call. cfpgroup.biz is the website to visit. And Rick, the 2020 Business of the Year Torch Award recipient from the Better Business Bureau, a recent accolade to tip the cap for the Coastal Financial Planning Group.
Well, thank you, Peter. We worked hard and long for that one. I'm going to give a lot of credit to Nikki Derderian. She's she heads up for the Coastal Financial Planning Group, our public relations, our marketing, and how we reach out in the community and whatnot. And the Better Business Bureau really wanted to hear about how have you helped the community during this COVID time, and what have you done to, be above and beyond as far as service for your current clients, keeping in communication with them and whatnot. And so we explained to them, we actually have gone through a process for 5 years to try and get this award. And we were just like, what else could we do? And they said, hey, these are trying times. These are times when people are really looking for trustworthiness, who they can trust, who they know is ethical and provides ethical standards. And we just said, the best way is through communication. So we went through a process of making sure we called out to all of our clients during this COVID times. We provided webinars. We had the largest attendance ever in our retirement planning summit, the 6th annual. We had
digitally,
digitally.
To the accessibility that you made sure that you were there to provide that resource, whether somebody chose to come in person or through the safety and convenience of technology.
Exactly. So, and then we also offered our college courses that we've done, our university courses that we've done. Traditionally, we did those at the College of Charleston face-to-face, just in a classroom setting. And then they had to close down due to COVID. So we were just like, what can we do? So we offer those now on video. So we did everything that we could to think of, how do we have to act now, today, in this situation that we're in, to try and provide our information to the public, to our current clients, and help them through this time to make sure that they're just comfortable that, hey, everything's going to be okay in the financial services way of providing fiduciary advice. And so, hey, we're just very thankful that we won that award. It's been a long road to get it. We're going into Columbia later this month, and we're going to actually in December, and we're going to be honored, and we're very thankful for that. We're thankful for the vote that went our way this year in an election of a firm in the state of South Carolina here that does business in an ethical standard and helps the community. So
Well,
thank you very
in
much.
a financial world, Rick, where there's so many questions and concerns, one of them is always trustworthiness and ethical standards and practices. And I think that really does go a long way in saying the job that you do and the ethics that you strive to uphold there at the Coastal Financial Planning Group to be recognized and honored as that Torch Award recipient from the Better Business Bureau. You've always provided so many outlets and resources and ways to be in touch or get information for those savers and investors across Charleston and the Low Country. It's always been a premise of the practice there at the Coastal Financial Planning Group. Proactive communication. And unfortunately, Rick, I think that that's something that not a lot of savers and investors get from their so-called source of financial guidance or information. So it is a juxtaposition. It's a big difference there, I think, from what you have been honored as showing and proving that you provide to the community, and unfortunately what a lot of people actually receive.
Yeah. So again, I can only say we're so thankful for that award. Thank you for the recognition, and it's just our responsibility. It's our responsibility, especially in these times, to provide fiduciary advice, to provide information that's under educational process so that people can discover on their own. You're not sold. You're not receiving any kind of advertising bias or anything like that oftentimes is weighted in the way that people receive financial information today. In the old days, you picked up a money magazine and you saw all the articles. They were all provided by the mutual fund companies that were sponsoring those ads and really paying the bills for the money magazine. You don't see those magazines much anymore. So, now it's on digital. Now we have an opportunity to, I'll say it, drain the swamp a little bit, for us to
direct.
Get the information direct and do it through a process of education so that you learn what you need to learn, and then you can make your decisions based on fact and knowledge. And that's always going to win when it comes to making the decisions that are in your best interest.
You mentioned the term fiduciary. What does it mean to you and to a saver investor client of the Coastal Financial Planning Group to have you all as that fiduciary resource?
Well, I think it would best be described, Peter, if you think about it from the standpoint of the old way things were done. The old way was that you worked for a company, typically, a bigger financial company. That company has to report to its shareholders and it has to pay dividends. And so information that is provided may somewhat be biased to how they earn money. In the old days of, mutual funds and mutual fund managers, there were things that went on in the industry that I would say really weren't in the client or the end user's best interest. They were more in the profitability model. And now you see a large group of independents that have done well over the last 20 years, just providing good, sound financial advice that helps people make financial decisions, knowing that it's coming from a source that's looking at, okay, what does this person need? What do they want their money to do for them? Now, how can I take that information and understanding all the options that they have, give them the best things to consider, put it on a spreadsheet, and then let them decide what's best for them?
Rick, I'm going to credit another aspect of the Coastal Financial Planning Group for maybe being some of what could be attributable to winning this Torch Award, the ISO certification. It's something, it's a terminology that maybe not everybody is familiar with or knows or understands what it means, but it's a very specific type of accreditation that basically is in your procedural standards that makes sure that you are upholding a high level of procedural standards in each and every case. And you guys are ISO certified. Maybe do you feel that that is something that attributed to winning that Torch Award?
It did. It did definitely. We can say that there are very few financial services companies that use that ISO standard, and they mainly use it from an administrative standpoint, just to make sure that they're running proper procedures on money transfers and things like that. So, and they also use it from a standpoint of security. So when we looked at it, we wanted to look at the ISO standard from the manufacturing standpoint. We wanted to look at what are our processes to meet with potential clients, gather their information, and then put them through our manufacturing process, which is basically gather information, find some solutions, present the solutions, let them decide through an educational process. So we documented all of that, and then ISO just audits us every year. It's actually a company called NSF that audits us, and so we get an external audit from one of their companies' personnel every year, and then we do an internal management audit, and we make sure that we're running things to standard. Now, what does this do? The simple bottom line is it creates procedural trust for our clients and our prospective clients that we're going to handle your life savings in a way that you can feel confident that it's under a process and it's under a system so that things don't fall through the cracks. And our objective in that system is to give you information that you haven't ever heard before so that you can make some decisions that's going to avoid some issues and risks that people have seen before in the past in retirement. They've shared them with us, and then we create solutions for those. So real quick, ISO looks at, from a manufacturing standpoint, what risks and issues does your company potentially see, and then how do you look at those for opportunities for improvement? They call them OFIs. So we do the same thing for our retirees. We say, what risks and issues do you face? And what can we look at for opportunities for improvement in your plan? And it worked out perfect to create a system for us, for our clients.
Rick, you've always talked about how every single individual, every situation is a little different, but in order to find where and how it's different, going through that procedural process in the same way, that discovery, understanding what the situation is, and being able through that process to identify where somebody needs to make a change or a tweak, or could have a more efficient strategy implemented. That's helping your clients leverage their money and achieve the goals that they define through that process.
Yeah, that's a great summation, Peter. And let's just keep it at this. If you are not receiving information that you feel is in your best interest, if you watched one of our podcasts on other topics, sequence risk, longevity risk, whatever the topic may be, and then you said, wow, I haven't ever heard of that before. I can see how it could affect me. I may want to find out a little bit more about this before I make my next financial decision as to how it could affect my future. That's our process. It's easy to follow. Pick up the phone and give us a call today. Come on in, or we'll meet with you on a Zoom meeting, or we'll do an initial meeting over the phone, whatever's most convenient for you to learn a little bit more about the Coastal Financial Planning Group.
800-491-6220, 800-491-6220. You can go online, cfpgroup.biz, cfpgroup.biz. The 2020 Torch Award Business of the Year Award winner recipients, the Coastal Financial Planning Group, and Rick Durkee, founder and CEO, here as your resource each and every week on navigating retirement. Rick, we always appreciate your time, as well as the guidance, the perspective, and the insight into planning that you provide to listeners and viewers on navigating retirement.
Thank you, Peter. And I want to encourage you to look at our series on Roth conversions if you want to find out some ways to do some proactive tax planning while taxes are still on sale.
On a lot of people's minds, it's a great series, uncovers what a Roth is, why you may want to use one, how to use ones, the different ways to get money growing tax-free for your retirement and for your legacy, and then a number of strategies for maximizing those opportunities. Go check out the mini-series on the Roth opportunities. Learn more about paying less in tax there at the Coastal Financial Planning Group, cfpgroup.biz, or give a call, 800-491-6220. Rick, always a pleasure.
Thank you, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Navigating Retirement.
Catch more of Rick Durkee and Navigating Retirement by visiting cfpgroup.biz.
While we believe the information in this broadcast is reliable, we cannot guarantee its accuracy. Opinions expressed are subject to change without notice and are not intended as investment advice or solicitation for the purchase or sale of any security. Please consult your financial professional before making any investment decisions. Investment advisory services are offered through Fusion Capital Management, an SEC-registered investment advisor. SEC registration is not an endorsement of the firm by the Commission and does not mean that the advisor has attained a specific level of skill or ability. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes.
Fiduciary duty extends solely to investment advisory advice and does not extend to other activities such as insurance or broker-dealer services. Advisory clients are charged a fee for assets under management, while insurance products pay a commission, which may result in a conflict of interest regarding compensation.
Third-party rankings and recognition from rating services and publications do not guarantee future investment success. Working with a highly rated advisor also does not ensure that a client or prospect will experience a higher level of performance. These ratings should not be viewed as an endorsement of the advisor by any client and do not represent any specific client's evaluation. Generally, ratings, rankings, and recognition are based on information provided by the advisor. Please contact the advisor for more information regarding how these rankings and ratings were formulated.